Hello, welcome to BCHL Wrap Up here on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Tali Campbell. On today's show, we take a look at the trade deadline at BCHL. We talk to a new member of the Nanaimo Clippers and more. You're currently watching BCHL Wrap Up. Here at Frank Crane Arena, Bill Bestwick's name is written all over the walls. He played in the 1972 inaugural season with the Nanaimo Clippers and coached and was manager and owned the team at one point as well. However, 3 seasons he's been absent, but he's back as a senior advisor. I got a chance to sit down with him. And then talking about your new job as senior advisor of the Nanaimo Clippers, of course, as many know, Bill Bestwick has a rich history with the Nanaimo Clippers. Inaugural season, he's part of it and coached for many years and manager. What exactly is a senior advisor?
Well, I think to lend your knowledge or lend your experience or lend your resources or lend your connections and your connectivity, another sounding board, another person that has an insight into the league. I'll do whoever hires me, I'll do whatever they ask me to do to try to make a difference, have an impact, have an influence on the outcome. So if I'm asked to help at the ice level, I will. If I'm asked to help with kids securing academic opportunities and preparing them for that, if they aren't already, perhaps a little public relations, maybe a little bit of brand activation, but certainly supporting the team that I've been a part of for so long. It's in my hometown and it just makes sense.
Many asked the question as well, and you may not know the answer, but January 10th is the BCHL trade deadline. The Nanaimo Clippers could potentially looking for some moves. Will you have any say in that?
I don't know that I'll have any say, but certainly if Mike asks me to do any advanced scouting, if he asks for my opinion, I'll certainly provide it. Indeed, I think that, I know we've had some good exchanges so far as it relates to player evaluations and assessments, and maybe what this team needs is short-term and long-term, and where moves potentially could be made, if at all. And certainly there's a couple of very good teams that Nanaimo will have to beat in order to advance out of the first round. And it's either going to be Powell River or Victoria, clearly, in the first round, and then one would have to think that it will be the other in the second round when Nanaimo wins the first round. So it's going to be a tough battle. 2 of the best teams in the league happen to be in the this year.
And many are asking questions, will we see Bill Bestwick around Frank Crane Arena more often now at games and such? Will we?
As often is the case, the junior B team that I'm coaching now will probably be playing on some of those nights, and so my first priority will be with them, but when they're not playing, of course, I'll be here, and I look forward to that. It is home, so I look forward to that.
And what is it kind of your time commitment within the Nanaimo Clippers?
It's only on a temporary basis as well, and it's a 6-month situation. And so at the conclusion of the season, Clipper season, and into the summer, we'll see the spring and summer, we'll see how everything evolves. It's a work in progress. And there's no commitments beyond the end of June at this time.
All right, so now some people have some questions. Mazabun asks, what made you want to start coaching junior B at such a late stage in the season?
Well, I was asked. I was available. But I hope that I can help the kids, and it's really a passion. It's an addiction. And because of the addiction to hockey, and really it's the addiction to the kids, it's the ice level, it's the puck hitting the glass, it's the challenge. And so I love the challenge. I've always loved the challenge, and I'm not ready to stop coaching.
Malcolm Rush asked, who is the best Clipper you've ever coached?
That's a really, really difficult question because there's decades and there's so many kids over those years. But obviously people sort of look at the Jason Garrisons of the world because they're relatively prominent in the NHL and they're very successful and they're very good. Tyson Mulock in 2004, centerman, was one of the most crafty players I've ever coached. Very creative, tough, could score, almost at will. Obviously, so many. AJ Gale was such a good player. Blair Riley was such a good player. Craigie Day was such a good player. Raymond Sawada was such a good player. Denny Berube was such a good player in goal. honest to God, there's just way too many kids to probably have to put somebody at the top. If I had to, it would be really easy to say Jason Garrison because it was on his success.
And Jody Rice asks, who is the best Victoria fan you know?
Well, I think Jody already knows the answer to that question. He has been for about 3 decades or longer. He's a historian. He's an ambassador. He's passionate. He embraces the home team. Jody's an amazing young man that I have the utmost admiration for. I love the guy. Even when I was coaching against Victoria, we always had a really good relationship. And he's a huge fan of the sport at all levels. And every city deserves a fan like him.
And lastly, Jacob Park asked, have you ever coached a junior B team before?
No, I don't think I have. Midget, of course, and junior A, but I don't think I've ever coached junior B. At least I don't recall coaching junior B. So it's another experience, and it's another give back. It's an opportunity to give back. And whenever you get a chance to give back doing something that you love to do, then do it.
Great, thanks, Bill. It's now time to take a look at the news and trades in the BCHL. Of course, January 10th was the BCHL trade deadline. Looking at BCHL news now, there is no suspension to talk about this week. However, some good news from the BCHL as the midterm North American player rankings from the NHL Central Scouting came on Monday, and 10 BCHL players are included. In the top 8 skaters are, at 102, Alex Gillis in the 4th, the San Bernardino Silverbacks. 118, Jason Cotton, the 4th, the West Kelowna Warriors. 134, Brett Bovios, the defenseman from the Penticton Vs. Also, Penticton V, Jack Ramsey, listed at number 151. 158, Mason Blacklock, the 4th of the Vernon Vipers. 183, Jeff White, 4th of the Mary Centennials. 185, D'Amico Hanu in the 4th from the Vernon Vipers, and unlisted due to limited viewing due to injury, Luke Ripley, defenseman from the Powell River Kings. 2 goaltenders as well, number 26, Alec Dillon of the Victoria Grizzlies, and a number 32, Hunter Miska of the Penticton Vs. The Chilliwack Chiefs announced new captain and assistant captain as they traded Shea Lorette, their former captain, to the Nanaimo Clippers. The Chiefs announced that Tanner Cochran as a new team captain and Matthew Tibbett as the assistant captain for the remainder of the 2013-14 season. Also big news in some signing, the Penticton Vs are pleased to sign the forward of Shane McLaughlin, a 93 forward. McLaughlin, his 5-year WHL career, got 65 goals and 209 points in 225 regular season games. In 30 career playoff games, the forward has 9 goals and 25 points. We're not going to pass the scores BCHL for this past week. Take a look at the Siena Financial scoreboard now. First games on January 10th, the trade deadline day in the BCHL. The Penticton Vs beat the Vernon Vipers 2-1. The Couch Valley Capitals won in overtime 2-1 against the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. The Prince George Spruce Kings beat the Surrey Eagles 6-3. The West Kelowna Warriors beat the Copeland Express 7-2. Merritts Towns beat the Nanaimo Clippers 4-3. Langleyman shut out the Chilliwack Chiefs 5-0. Power Kings beat the San Bernardino Silverbacks 3-1. Then on Saturday, January 11th, the Copeland Express lost to Vernon Vipers 3-1. The Alberni Valley Bulldogs beat the San Bernardino Silverbacks 4-2. The Chilliwack Chiefs lost to Langley Rivermen 5-2. The Surrey Eagles lost to the Prince George Spruce Kings in overtime 4-3. The Victoria Grizzlies beat the Mary Centennials 4-2. The Penticton Vs beat the Trail Smoke Eaters 3-2. And finally, Power River Kings beat the Nanaimo Clippers 6-3. And a lone game on Sunday, January the 12th, the San Bernardino Silverbacks lost to Couch Valley Capitals 2-1. Your BCHL scoreboard is brought to you by Siena Financial. Visit siena.com for more information. This week's Island Sports News Spotlight of the Week is on Austin Azurdi of the Langley Rivermen. Austin Azurdi's favorite NHL team is the Edmonton Oilers. His favorite hockey player is Canadian boy Sidney Crosby. His goal this season to win the Royal Bank Cup, and his goal in life is to be successful. Austin Azurdi's best hockey moment is when he scored the goal last year versus the Prince George Spruce Kings. This week's Island Sports News Spotlight of the Week is on Austin Azurdia of the Langley Rivermen.